Welcome back to SimCity Offline and Unleashed. Oh, guys. Oh, I found I found the problems. Why we were having problems with the water and the power. And you want to know why we were having problems with the water and the power? Because I am a complete moron. That's why. Good Lord. I'm going to explain it to you like completely exactly what the problem was and exactly what I've done to fix it. By the way, doesn't the city look kind of pretty at night? I actually kind of. I've been spending quite a bit of time here. As you can see by the cash is up to like over 100 million now. Um, but look, I love the way the moonlight hits the bridges, which is kind of cool. Oh, I'm getting all poetic now. Right, let's get on and explain to you the situation, and then I'll explain the changes that I've made to kind of fix things. And I wanted to show you this at night because things show up a little bit better at night. You can also see like no lag, which is also kind of nice. And I've found some tips on reducing the lag and stuff. So I'll take you through that stuff as well. Right. Let's get on then. The water problems. So, well, the water and the power problems. And I want to show you, let's go back to this view because from here you can see like the whole city. First of all, let me show you the water, right? And you'll see that we're getting water from the region again, right? And all I've got are a few little hydro pumping stations. I've got like 4 here, and I think I've got like 6 over here. So they're producing like, very little. And if we look at the electricity, you'll see same thing. There's no local electricity, and all our electricity is being provided from the region. Okay? Right. So how come it's working now and it wasn't working before? After like about 5 hours of me screaming about bug. Wasn't a bug. Was not a bug. I want to be really clear about that. What happened was, when we got the first problem with the water, let me switch to the water. When we got the first problem with the water, it occurred over here, right? Like these kind of 3 rows over here. And it was a pure distribution problem because I had the entranceway hooking up over here. Right. So what it meant was that when the water was coming into the city, let me zoom down here a little bit. So the water, the original entrance was hooking up to here. So we've got 16 roads across here, but it was only on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was between the 5th and 6th. Now, the way that the water works, and this is the same for power, you'll get, when it comes to a junction, it just randomly goes in one direction or another. Okay, so it's purely like 50-50 decision making. Like I come to a junction, 50% I'll go this way, 50% I'll go this way. So what was happening was that the water coming into the city, the vast majority of the water was concentrated in this half of the city, and there just wasn't enough to get like right over and keep this side filled. So, and the same actually happened with the power. Now, when this problem first came up, right, I was like, okay, yeah, it's a distribution problem. I'll put in some water over here. The problem is I put in too much local water, and what really, really annoys me is that during the live stream, some people actually told me, some people actually understood what was happening and told me, and I didn't bloomin' listen, and I want to apologise to those people because it was me overthinking the problem. We had the initial problem over here, and then when we started to get no water from the region, I thought, oh, that's what was causing this. It wasn't. The initial problem was a distribution problem. The second problem was because I put in too much water, and I want to demonstrate this to you so that you guys will see. Right. So right now, and I'll need to. Right, you can see these. Let me zoom right in so you can see them. Right, you can see these things coming in from the region. Okay, right. I'm now going to stop it, and I'm going to show you how. Right, I'm just going to come up here, right, and I'm just going to pop in a couple of hydro pumping stations. Oh, and I'll talk about the pollution in a bit as well. Try and remember to do that. Let's pop in just a couple of hydro. Now, I want you to watch this over here, right? And I'll probably have to put in. Right. Look, we've just gone positive, right? It was sitting on 0, and it's just gone positive, right? So I've now pushed it up so that these hydro pumps are actually producing more than the city needs. Now, what happens at that point is that the city goes, oh, right, we've got enough water locally. We don't need to buy from the region. And if I come down here, pretty soon, I'll have to speed this up a little bit, I think. Pretty soon, we'll get a message which will pop. Oh, here we go. Right, Skye Storm X has stopped. Oh, right, yeah. Segura River stopped sending water to you. Right? So, because we're producing enough locally, right, we don't buy from the region. Okay? You'll see the odd one that'll come, actually along here and then go back again. But see, here's one, right? But we're not getting any new supply from the region. Okay? So, and that's it. That was the entire problem. I mean, freaking unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, anybody who was on the live stream heard me going on and on and on and on. Ugh, it was just me being a complete moron and doing what I've really berated people for doing in the past, which is, as soon as something goes wrong, screaming bug, bug, bug. There are a hell of a lot of bugs in this game. This was not one of them. Right, so I need to take these guys out. Boom, boom. Good. Done. Lovely. Now, if we go back to the entrance and look at the water supply, see, this is now gone negative, right? Pretty soon, the city will go, oh, we're negative. We need to buy from the region. Let's speed this up. Come on, figure it out. It may need to touch into the red. Oh, there you go. Boom. Now it resets to 0. Oh, and look. There's the supply coming in from the region again. Man, like, so easy. So easy. Like, the thing is, when you're doing a live stream, I got to tell you, doing a live stream is different from sort of sitting, on your own, just doing the R&D and figuring it out. Because it just is. Alrighty, so what I did, I decided to redesign the entrance. Okay, so now the entrance comes in. Let me see if I can show you this. Like, very simply. The entrance comes in and hooks up here. And this is between the 8th and 9th roads. So it's coming in right in the centre, which means we get an even 50-50 split of the water to both sides of the city. Okay? But I found that it's kind of not quite enough. It's almost enough to keep the city happy, but not quite. So what I've done is just pop in just a couple of these little hydro pumps on these 3 rows here and these 2 rows here. And I think once I put more of the residential and commercial back in, I'll probably need to increase this slightly. We'll probably end up with like 6 or 8 pumps here, and maybe the same on the bottom side of the river as well, and same up here, right? So water problem solved. Power, we'll probably have to do something similar with power as well. I'll maybe have to put in a small power station, maybe in this corner and in this corner, to make sure that we're getting power in these rows. But yeah, oh man. Right, so there you go. That's the big mystery solved. The big water mystery has been solved, and I'm a moron. If anybody ever had any doubts, well, there's the proof. Right, pollution. Let me mention this because a lot of people will kind of see this and freak out, and you kind of don't need to. Look, we've got this horrible pollution here, and let me switch to the pollution map, right? Right, so here's the horrible ground pollution, and you're going to think, oh my God, this is going to poison all of these residential buildings. And no, 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 no. If you have a look at this, you see the shape of this, where it sort of comes across here, and then it's going like in this bulge, right? It's this, right? So it's this down here, right? So it's the offset. And although it's showing up here, the effect is actually over here, right? So it's not affecting these residential buildings. So we don't have to worry about that. And in case you don't believe me, let's have a look at health. And you'll see that right now we've got like 55 sick people, right? Now we've got like over 1,000 injured people, and I told you about why we've got so many injured people in the last video in episode 16. So so there you go. There you go. Now we are getting a few deaths per day, and it's kind of weird the way the drones behave. What happens is, and it just happened actually. They're all kind of coming back again now. What happens is the drones kind of sit there, not doing a great deal. Then it realizes, oh, we've got some injured people we need to go and help. And like they all go at once. It's kind of crazy. There's this mass exodus. All the drones leave their drone base and zoom off down here. Now, here you go. Look, there they go. The mass exodus of the Medi drones. And they all whiz down and they treat a few people, and all the excess drones just come back again. And I think these deaths, these few deaths that we're getting, is kind of in the interim period where they're all resetting themselves and coming back. But it's a little bit weird. Got to keep an eye on that. Right, so how are we doing now? Like I've said, power's great, water's great, sewage awesome, no issues there. Waste disposal, so garbage is awesome. We're doing all the garbage every day. I'm thinking when we get when we crank up the population, I may need to put in another garbage dump. It's probably in the middle. I'm thinking I'm going to need that, but we'll see. We'll see. And fire is perfect. 17 of 17 fires extinguished per day. That's like absolutely perfect. I've got rid of the fire helicopters completely. We've got 3 large fire stations just with trucks, and they've each got oh, that's only got 4 fire trucks. Oh, that's only got 4 fire trucks. Oh, and that's only got 4 fire trucks. But they also using fire drones. So there you go. What's that over there? Oh, that's a fire helicopter that's stuck. And yeah, the fire helicopters were having just a nightmare. They just would not work at all. So that's something that I'm going to play around with more, because I do love fire helicopters, and it really annoys me that they're not working in this city. They've always been great for me before. Okay, we've already talked about the health. Crime. Now, this is the one that I'm kind of sort of working on now. Everything else is pretty good. Crime is the one that I'm trying to tackle, and this is worth telling you guys about. Right, we've got 0 crimes committed per day, but we've got like 1,250 criminals at large, right? Which is a bit of a problem. And the reason this number is so high is because I had too many police in at one point. And what happens is, see, a lot of people, they get, a lot of crimes being committed. They whack loads and loads and loads of police cars in. This is a bad idea if you have too many police. Okay, let me explain how criminals behave. Some of you will know this, so I'll try and do it quickly. When a criminal leaves his house to go and commit a crime, like this guy, he goes out and he's looking for an opportunity to commit a crime. But if he sees a police car, right, he won't commit a crime. Right? He'll go, ooh, the police are around here. He needs to be in an area where there are no police. And if, here you go. So here's a bunch of criminals, and they all go out and they're looking around and they're like, oh, I can see police cars. Oh, there's a police car on this road. I'll just go home. And they don't commit a crime, and they just like go back home. And what happens is, if you haven't got people committing crimes, you can't catch them. And if you can't catch them, the number of criminals just keeps increasing. Okay, so if you have too many police cars, you'll get loads and loads of criminals at large, even though you've got like zero or very few crimes being committed per day. So there you go. That's how crime works. So I need to address this. I've really cut back on the number of police cars, but I've still got like 16 police cars. What I'm hoping is that when I repopulate this, and there's a bit more commercial in, and a bit more industrial, that there'll be more opportunities for them to commit crimes. So we'll kind of see. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to put in detective vans, and if I have to do that, I'll kind of explain that whole mechanic to you as well. Alrighty. So there you go. That's the crime. Let's talk about education, because this is the other way to help the situation. Because the better educated your population, the less criminals you create, and that would bring the number down as well. Now currently, I'm having problems getting the students to go to school, and let me bring up the education overlay and I'll show you. And it's this batch here, and I don't understand why they won't go to school, and they just will not go to college. This group here. Like everywhere else is pretty good, but this group, they just won't go. They just will not go. And I'm actually wondering if these buildings have maybe either got bugged out, or whether it's because... So I did wonder if it's because there's a hell of a lot of criminals here. And like, is that the issue? And let me show you. Let me bring up the... Right. See, there's like tons and tons of criminals here. And I was wondering, is that causing this? But if you look, there's like loads and loads of criminals over here as well. But if you look at the education, now they're going to school. So like, what the hell's wrong with these? And I think I'm going to have to knock these buildings down and rebuild them. And then I think they'll start going to school again. But hey, it is what it is. So that's kind of the next thing to do, is to start like knock these buildings down, start to repopulate this, start to build up slowly, and I am going to do it slowly. Let's get rid of this. Those criminals really annoy me. Start to build up the population, start to add more Omega, start to add in more of the industry, and just build it up. I mean, we're up to like 178,000 population. And I think when this is maxed out, we'll have probably getting on for... I'm thinking it's going to be like 700,000-800,000, something in that kind of area. So yeah, that's what I need to... Oh look, our profit just hit 200,000 per hour. Wow. And there's like so much more population to add. Oh, I almost forgot to show you this, guys. Look at this. 95% approval rating. Unbelievable, the turnaround. And like all those nightmares just caused by that one stupid mistake by me. Oh man. 95% approval rating. Can't believe it. Alright, well, I tell you what, guys, it's going to start getting really interesting now. See you for the next one.